So massive thanks to Juliet Simons for pushing me to do a video on Balsam Fir essential oil spiritual benefits. Not an easy task, I have to say, because there's so little written about it. And that is, I think, because the conifers, the evergreens, are such an ancient species. They predate humans by millions and billions and millions of years, that human knowledge has kind of brought all of the mythology together, if that makes sense. So we can talk about fir, silver fir, what have we got, white spruce, for example, also a fir, that across the board we'll see a similar kind of energetic. And that is that they are really strengthening to Shen. So the internal sort of wind of emotions in through the body, but also tonify chi. I wanted to start with a beautiful piece that from The Fragrant Heavens by Valerie Ann Worwood. I think I need to move it away from the window. Look, it's all faded. But she writes the most beautiful opening about a fir, and I thought this is a really good sum up. It says, the spirit of fir extends around the planet, encircling us in its wide, enveloping arms of protection, bringing down the rainbow of heavenly lights that shine upon us. Every soul knows the fragrance of fir, even if only in the ancient heritage of their bones and spirit. The fragrance is in the collective soul, a family member we love to remember who is always familiar. And as we inhale the aroma of the sparkling green needles, we remember deeply the heritage we have shared with the trees, with the plants, the animals, the stars and the heavens. With the clarity of mind and spirit given to this fragrance, we can know that we are one. Well, I don't think I can really improve on that, to be honest, but you cannot improve on perfection, Valerie. Thank you for those beautiful words if you see the video. But this idea of a strength of connection, and how, think about how we walk through the forest and we breathe in those beautiful molecules that really make us feel like world is expansive, and we feel like we've got more air to breathe and more space to think. And what's happening is the etheric bodies are just fortifying and coming out a little bit further. And you definitely, I think everybody knows that feeling of just being, oh, it's so great to be out in the forest, to be free of everything. So this is a really amazing oil to use if the chi, or the kundalini, or the spirit, the internal spirit of the person is weak. Interestingly, last week we talked about counterput, very similar kind of feeling of when the fight has gone. But this is a really great oil for, I think, when you have been poorly, or you have been kicked by work, or maybe a divorce or something like that, and you feel like you just can't think straight because it doesn't feel like you anymore. You know, your identity has been taken away from you. Fir just goes, breathe and remember who you are. Remember who you are in the space of this world, and really puts you back into right relationship with everything around you. So my sister has a favourite word, which always used to like amuse me, but I have kind of started to use it more. And she says, oh, I feel really discombobulated. This idea of like everything feels like it's in the wrong place, you know, nothing's in the right place. I don't feel like, I can't think straight. So who's moved the flipping sieve? That's my favourite thing. Who's moved the sieve? That feeling of just something is in your space and it doesn't feel right. Fir, balsam fir in particular, just goes, just smooth it down so everything feels like it's in the right place. And it really works on third eye and crown chakra to open them, so it's like connecting to your space again. I think also this is a really good oil for old people, and particularly I'm going to say old women, or, and excuse me for saying it in the same sentence as old women, but menopausal women, because I think there's that sense of, in fact I think Battaglia says it in his book, that it's a great thing for when somebody feels like they've got a diminished presence, that they're getting overlooked, that people aren't seeing them anymore, that somehow they just like, they're an appendary, you know, an add-on to the family. They're just there and they're not really that important anymore. They don't feel important. They don't feel like anybody else feels they're important. And chi falls. Shen falls, it becomes disturbed, and the energy just kind of becomes, well, okay, I'll just become smaller and smaller then. You already think I'm small. I don't want to take up too much space. I don't want to be a burden. And all of that is like a collapsing in of the spirit. And so this is a beautiful oil to go, just take up some more space. Just kind of feel a bit stronger in the world. Again, if there's like an overflow of emotions where the emotions are just pouring out of you and you just can't quite find your center, it helps to bring you back to your place, to feel like yourself again. So Peter Holmes says that fir bestows strength and vitality to the soul and offers clarity and cohesion of thought and spirit, and he says the same, that it's grounding but it's also elevating. If you look at the Ogham alphabet, the really ancient sort of Celtic alphabet of the trees, fir would fall under Ailm. So Ailm is the 16th letter of the alphabet, and sometimes it's pine, sometimes it's spruce, and as I say, it's kind of this mishmash of the ancient things of, there's a great big evergreen tree outside. But these trees are always associated with rising above immediate difficulty, so it shifts the consciousness quickly, so you have like this ability to rise up fast, but also to be able to see far in the distance. And I always say this about black spruce. Black spruce is like a sentinel tree that looks so far off the top of the hills, and of course they were always thought to be protectors of towns, of villages, of communities, and there's a sense of them looking not just at the little people but over the little people as a protective element. I once saw a lovely analogy about the evergreens. They said that the evergreens are always with us. They're with us when we are born, they are with us when we die, and they inhabit every moment with us, so you cannot hide anything from a fir tree. And of course they're Christmas trees, haven't they? You know, they've borne witness to everything in our childhood, in our families, happy moments, probably arguments and sad moments too, but they've borne witness, and that they've turned up into our house and they've inhabited that space and borne witness to our lives. So long sight but also clear vision. Also, and this is an interesting thing, if you look in enough books, you'll find there's little patterns that you think, oh, I didn't expect to find that. And that is that the fir tree is the home of the Gaelic fir goddess Druantia. She was the queen of the Druids, and she's the mother of the tree calendar, according to Robert Graves in the White Goddess. I think it's probably quite a modern myth, but she says that Druantia says that the fir trees are how you contact the fae. So that might be an interesting thing if you're thinking of doing any kind of nature spirit work. It's not one that I've used before, but I shall be now. I use cedarwood. But yeah, again, look, conifer, old tree. This idea that you can contact the fae. So just there's a lovely book about sacred oils by a gentleman called Richard Allen Miller and Iona Miller, and because I've got my notes and not the book in front of me, I'll put the name in the description in case you want it. But they say that actually, they say specifically balsam fir, Abies balsamea, is used as an aid to meditation, and they say rituals concerning nature spirits. So it's coming up all over the place. Now, there is some really interesting science connected with fir oils, and I thought, right, could put it in this video, but I'm going to open this up to you to do a little bit of an experiment with me. I'm going to do a meditation with fir oil that I would love you to join me with, and I'm going to give you some notes to take during the meditation and see if it comes out the same for you. But scientifically, we know that despite all of that which is written about fir oils, they do not affect everybody differently. In fact, fir affects men differently to women. So why not come and do a fantastic experiment with fir oil, a lovely meditation to help to bring your Shen and your chi back up, and also just to see how does it actually affect me. So that is balsam fir spiritual essential oil benefits, but forget all of the theory, come and experience it for yourself.